Have you ever heard of duality? Have you ever listened to any of my videos where I talk about the law of polarization? If you have, then you would not ask this question. He said that nobody never asked this guy, where does good and evil come from, since he has all the answers. What causes people to be good or evil? This is based on my video when I talked about, no, I'm not born in sin. That's a you thing. You can have that and keep that for yourself. Here's the thing, my guy. You ask questions without researching who I am and what I've talked about in other things. You might want to do that before you start making statements. I have about 2,000 videos across the different social media platforms. But people do ask this question. They ask this question over and over again. And I keep explaining it over and over again. So I'm going to explain it again because I realize that this is something I'm just going to have to do in order for some people to kind of get it. But the question has been asked to me. But let me first say that since I have all the answers, I do not have all the answers. In multiple videos, I talk about the fact that I don't know everything. I will never know everything. The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. So there is plenty for me to learn and to know. But if you understand hermetics and alchemy, then you will understand this as well. There will never be a time where I will know everything, because to know everything is an impossibility. Just to know the all in itself is unknowable and undefinable. So I will never know everything, neither will anybody else. And a person who claims to know everything is a fool, and I am not such. Now, where does good and evil come from? I cannot tell you where it comes from with certainty, because you cannot prove the existence of a divine being. You cannot prove the existence of the all. You only have enough evidence to create a theory, and theories are backed by evidence, whereas your faith, your belief, is backed by the lack of evidence, as by the description of your own book, is that faith is truly the lack of evidence, but believing in something anyway. I have to have evidence in order to create a theory. The evidence of the all is the intelligent design of the universe. That it is not accidental, that the formation of nature and how it all works well hand in hand with each other and corrects itself is one of the processes that I use as evidence to say that there could be, or most likely is, an intelligent designer of the universe. Now, because I accept that there is an intelligent designer of the universe, I will then go as far as to say that that designer of the universe cannot create morality without there being two sides of that pole, because it is not the pole of good versus the pole of evil. It is the pole of morality, which at the far right there is good, and at the far left there is evil. Now, there is no such thing as absolute good, and there's no such thing as absolute evil. You see, in my evidence and based on polarization, there cannot be a benevolent deity that is all good and a malevolent deity that is all evil, but that the entity is all one and the same, just different degrees based on the perspective. Let me give you an idea. You have two people who believe in the same deity. One person is living the worst horrible life and maybe even being hung on a tree. They're praying to that deity. That deity is being very harsh to them. Whereas the other person who is committing the criminal, insane act of hanging this person may have been benefiting from life and have everything in their life working great for them. They're worshiping the same deity. To them, that deity is all good, because they're getting what they want. They're getting what they desire. Life is grand for them. It's not for the other person. I see that deity as being both good and evil. Completely opposite. It's being evil that it's allowing this person to hang this other person and putting this other person in subjugation to them. That's evil as hell. And then I still see it as being even more evil in that they allow this person to pray to them and give to them, that's now being hung in the name of them. So they're both versions of this particular deity in this situation is both leaning towards the low vibrational side of the pole of deity. No, you see, a good deity would have made both of them realize that they need to be brothers to one another, treat each one fairly, treat each one as they would want to be treated. Would the man hanging the other man desire to be hung? No. So therefore he should not hang someone. Does the one subjugating the other one wants to be subjugated? No. Therefore, he should not subjugate the other person. You see, that is where our true morality lies. It lies within us. You have the option to choose whether you're going to vibrate on the far right or you're going to vibrate on the far left. But most people vibrate in the middle, picking and choosing what is good and what is not good. This is why another person was saying that those people who don't that he's a Christian, and he would sit up there and say people who do not act and do as he does or think as he does are not real Christians. But those people he's claiming to be not real Christians will look at them and say that because they do not do and act and think the same way that they do, that person is not a real Christian. It's all the perspective of the person who's looking at it from the position that they're on the pole. And that is the difficulty of the whole thing. But as far as where does it come from, you cannot prove deity, so therefore you cannot prove where it comes from. What is the most likely? The most likely is that morality is inside of you, that you have learned from your culture, learned from your study, learned from your parents, learned from everyone around you, that this is good and this is not good. We have elevated our culture from a time frame where slavery was okay, and everybody thought that and most people thought that it was grand. Even the ones who were slaves thought that slavery was okay. That's just a natural order of things. As Aristotle said, man has this thing about them that says that one must be the master and the other must be the slave, and that is the natural order of things for man. That's fucked up. That's messed up. But we've progressed from that. We've progressed from marrying young girls, from impregnating young girls. We've progressed from that, where that used to be okay. We've progressed from many different things of caste systems. We used to say caste system was okay, but now it's less and less becoming okay. So as we continue to progress in our society, hopefully we continue to move in a way that things that were in the past that we thought were good, we now see them as not good. And I'm sure that there are things that we see today as good that future generations will say that was not good, that we were wrong in our thinking of that. But it's because we've grown up in a culture that has taught us that that is good and this is bad. But as we grow, someone must step up. Someone steps out and say, no, we must make a change because this is not good, because this is not how I would want to be treated. So if we all thought that and realized, sorry about that, then we would know that everybody would treat everybody as they would want to be treated, and then we can get closer to a utopian society. The closer we become to that, the better we'll be. The less evil we'll have. The more of us will be vibrating to the right, vibrating on the side of more goodness than more evil. So I want to thank everybody who donates to the channel through gifts and stars and finances. Continue to share the videos and share and subscribe to the page. Y'all have a great day. Remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.